Hey! Damn, it's been a long fucking time since I've been on here. So, last night, I think it was last night, Mikey, well, no. Let me go back. 2 nights ago, Mikey and I started watching the movie Blank Check. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen Blank Check or if you've ever heard of the movie Blank Check, but it was filmed, I think I read, in 1994, and it's a Disney movie. And I loved that movie. I'd watch it all the time. So when I saw it on Netflix, I was like, perfect, Academy Award winning movie. Like, this is probably the best movie that's ever been made. So let's watch it. Mikey had never seen it before, and I was like, your life will change. Even though I rewatched it and it's such a shitty movie. Anyway, also, I'll get into what I'm gonna do. So we watched the movie Blank Check, and if you don't know what it's basically about a 12-year-old boy who gets hit. He doesn't get hit, his bike gets run over by some guy, and you can tell this guy is a bad man, he steals money, whatever. So he hits him. This is the short version of the movie. He hits him, not him, but he hits his bike. The kid moves out of the way in time. Which, okay, later in the video I'll get into how inconsistent and how unrealistic this movie is, but anyway, it's a Disney movie. What do you expect? So he runs over his bike, and he's like, you can tell he's just like a mean guy, and he's just like, here, give this check to your dad, he'll know what to do with it. And this kid was like, in the beginning of the movie, pretty upset because he feels like he gets the short end of the stick. His siblings always get money, he doesn't. He wants to have his own house, he wants to, his house, his rules, he wants all the money so he can do whatever he wants. So this guy just gives him a blank check, and earlier in the movie, his grandmother had sent him a check that was blank, and the dad was like, oh, you can just fill in the amount, and then there you go. I mean, she signed it, so it's a valid check. So he gives him a blank check, and this kid goes home, and he looks at it, and this kid is pretty savvy with technology. Like, if you've never seen the movie, I recommend you watch it, because it's so unrealistic, but it's so entertaining at the same time. He basically prints out this check, and it says, he puts down $200, and he's like, nah, fam, I gotta ask for more. So ultimately, he puts down $1 million. Fine, chill. And he puts, you know how in checks, I don't know if you guys know what really checks look like, because everything's over the internet now, but on a check it says pay to the order of, and you put the name. He put cash, so when he went to the bank, they would just give him the $1 million in cash. So he puts $1 million down. He like prints it out on his computer. Like, I know today it would be super easy, but for a 12-year-old back in like the early 90s, like, that's pretty impressive for him to like print it out on top of the check and make it look legit. So anyway, he gets $1 million, and he goes to the bank, and basically the owner of the bank was working with the bad guy, and that's why he had $1 million in cash in the bank. So I'm not going to go into how he gets the money, you need to watch it, but basically it gets all interconnected. My point of this video, after, 3 minutes and 30 seconds of explaining the plot of the movie, because I feel like it's important if you've never seen it, you won't get as to what I'm doing. This kid basically gets $1 million, and he buys all this fucking shit. And I'm sitting there watching the movie, and I'm like, I gotta make a YouTube video about this. Like, is this realistic? Like, he gets $1 million, and he buys all this shit. I gotta fucking fact check this. So I haven't been on here in forever, and this is the first video I'm putting in, I don't even know how long, like 6 months I haven't been on here. This is the shit I think about. I watch a movie called Blank Check, a Disney movie called Blank Check, and see if he could really afford everything he got for $1 million. This is what I went to college for. This is what I got my fucking degree for, to figure out if Preston Waters in Blank Check could afford everything he got for $1 million. Now, I'm gonna have some rules, because I feel like there's just a lot of things, like in certain scenes there's a lot of things, okay, and this is gonna require a bit of research. So I'm gonna be a little bit of a cheater, I guess, maybe, and go on the IMDb page and see how much information I can get off there. And in the movie, they do kind of, the house he buys, they do tell you how much this house is worth. I'll get into that, how unfucking realistic that is, but whatever. I don't know where this movie is based in, so maybe if it's not in like California, if it's in like a Midwestern state or something, it makes more sense. I digress. So I'll get into how much the house is worth and everything like that. I'm gonna try my best to not have to rewatch the whole movie, because I would be sitting there for an hour and a half just taking notes, but I might have to. So a few rules is that, like, all the little stuff, like, I'm gonna try to get as much as I can, but like all the little stuff I see, I don't know if I'm gonna count, because there are a few things in there. Like, Mikey and I were talking about how in the movie he has this whole AV system. Like, he has probably about 50 TVs just like stacked on top of each other, so you could like see like whatever he plays on the TVs is like this big huge screen. Mikey said that probably costs about like $200,000 now. So back in the 90s, like, that must have been a lot of money. So a lot of the big things, I feel, I probably know it's not going to be a realistic, or he probably, because at the end of the movie also, he has $332 left. So I'm going to, $332.17, I think, is how much he has left. So I'm going to see if I have the same thing left over, or if I go over. I'm pretty sure that this is not realistic, and everything he bought is not under $1 million. But I, as an investigative journalist, not really, no, I just, like, I just have no life, and this is what drives me. This is what drives me. So anyway, I'll be back in a little bit. I'm gonna go watch the movie, try to get as much as I can, and I will be back with my little fucking note piece of paper and see if this is fucking realistic. I bet it's not, but it's fine. I'll see you guys in a little bit. So I just wanted to show you guys my degree really quick. It does say Bachelor of Science Kinesiology, but actually they wrote that wrong. It's Bachelor of Science and having no fucking life and making this video. So I just wanted to go ahead and clarify for that. I don't know why Cal State Fullerton fucked up my my degree, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna live with it. They don't know my true job. It really makes me mad that they messed up on that, but I'm just living my true life. Hey guys, like I said, I'm at the computer first. I'm gonna do a little bit of research, and I might even Google, is blank check real? But I don't know if I want to steal someone's answer, but I have my little pen and paper right here. I mean, like Time Magazine and like Los Angeles Times, like, they're quaking. Like, this is true investigative journalism. So I'm just gonna film myself doing some research right now. This is my roommate's computer. Robert, if you're watching this, I'm on your computer. And I don't know what the fuck that is, but I'm gonna close it out. This is kind of a bad angle because his chair leans so much. I keep looking at myself. I'm such a narcissist. Anyway, let's do some research. Microsoft Edge is faster than Chrome. Just so you guys know, that's what popped up. If you were wondering, if you ever stayed up at night and asked yourself, is Microsoft Edge faster than Chrome? It is. So, little fun fact in my video. So let's just type in the movie blank check. Okay, I'm gonna actually read the real IMDb synopsis right now, just so you guys understand. I think I did a really shitty ass job of explaining this movie. Also, it has a 5.2 out of 10 rating on IMDb. I could not disagree with that more. I think this movie honestly deserves a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Like, I don't know if IMDb has a vendetta against this movie. I think this is a conspiracy theory that IMDb is doing this on purpose so people don't watch this movie. But I see right through you, IMDb. I know this movie should have won an Academy Award and it didn't, so it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. So the synopsis is: a young boy inadvertently gains possession of a check for $1 million, which he proceeds to spend, unaware that the gangsters it belongs to are in pursuit. So actually, I think I know the reason why IMDb is making this rating so low is because it's honestly a little bit like Catch Me If You Can. And I'm just going to throw some shade here. Catch Me If You Can has nothing on Blank Check. Like, seriously, nothing. Catch Me If You Can is quaking. Leonardo DiCaprio is quaking. He's quaking at Brian Donsall, who plays Preston Waters in the movie. Like, I think Leo knew that Brian did so well that he is, like, paying IMDb to make this rating lower than it actually is, so that's just my little conspiracy theory. So I just Googled that. I'd want to give you guys a better synopsis because I think I did horrible at explaining that movie. Okay, so let's put Blank Check real. I'm gonna actually Google, is Blank Check realistic? I think someone already did an article about this. I rewatched Blank Check and my childhood is now ruined. Blank Check was perhaps the most confusing film of the 1990s, which is saying something. Because something happens at the end of the movie where Mikey and I were just like, it's the 90s. They didn't know any better. Because honestly, this movie is just like so confusing. It says, even as a 7-year-old, the holes of this film's plot were so sophomoric and confusing as the science behind black holes in this year's Interstellar. So that just gives you a little bit of like, yeah. Let's see if they even talk about the realism. Yeah, so in 16 minutes in, it says Preston inserts this blank check into his Macintosh computer and prints out $1 million check. This is illegal, by the way. This movie, like, if it were done in like real time today, this kid would have gone to jail. This is like fraud. This is horrible. Like, this is a really bad crime. Like, Catch Me If You Can, they talk about, you know, like checks and check fraud. It's like a really big fucking deal. Like, you can go to jail. This kid gets scot-free because it's a Disney movie, but whatever. So let's talk about, oh, okay, he goes into, so let me talk about how much the house was worth, because you know what, this article seems to have a lot of information, so I'm going to take some notes. Let me just show you what I wrote down because I'm a professional. So I just wanted to show you that so you know my credibility. So 27 minutes in, Preston uses a computer voice to build on a castle which he pays $300,000 for. Now, let me see if I can show you this castle of a home. I don't know if I got a good shot of that, but it's literally a castle. Okay, so he pays $300,000 for this house. That's his first purchase. It was originally $220,000 plus closing costs. It's a weird ass movie, guys. But he closes the house at $300,000, and they're originally asking $220,000 for that house. That's a castle. A castle. And they're asking over $200,000 plus closing costs? Like, bitch, what? Like, ooh, wait. So, fun fact, the castle he buys is Pemberton Castle in Austin, Texas, offered at $2 million today. Pemberton would have cost over $1 million in 1994, so that's just unrealistic. So he buys it for $300,000 when it's originally over $1 million already. So, like, we can already tell this is gonna not be realistic because it would have been all his $1 million. So I don't know what the fuck Disney was doing, but, you know, whatever. It says right here, and why? Why is Preston's first move to buy a castle for $300K? He spent 1/3 of his check in the first 10 minutes of having the money. Idiot. He's 12 years old. Whatever. So even though this article, I might just read this article and do some commentary on it because this actually seems like a funny article, and I'll link the article below. It's by Thrillist Entertainment and who wrote it, but like I think this is just going to be a done deal because he might talk about the big purchases in here. I don't know. I'm just going to keep reading the article and see. But I'm just going to base it off of Disney's expectations, right? Because even if he did buy this house for $300,000, and if he goes over the big purchases, even at Disney's expense, I don't even know if it'll be realistic, if it'll add up. And at the end of the movie, actually, when, you know, he's starting to be in his feelings, you know. And he has to he throws this big birthday party for Macintosh. Again, you have to watch the movie to really understand what I'm talking about, but he pretends that this man who's buying this house and making these big purchases is called Macintosh, okay? So he throws Macintosh this big party, and he has this party planner that's like, where's my money, bitch? Literally, she's like threatening him. She doesn't say bitch in the movie, but literally she's like, where's my money, bitch? Like, give me my $100,000, bitch. And that's where he finds out that he only has over $300 left, because in his office, like, he has like a breakdown of all his payments, and he can't afford $100,000. So anyway, that was me rambling for a little bit. Let's get back into this article. So, and that's only 27 minutes and 52 seconds in, he buys the house. There you go. Number 2, the second thing he buys is Preston rents a limo. Fine, understandable. But then he buys sweatshirts and Nazi... Hold on a second. Literally in this article, it says he buys Nazi sunglasses. I don't know if you can read that. Nazi sunglasses. Okay, they're going off of what it would be today, which we don't want, because I'm living in unrealistic expectations right now. So I'm gonna go off my own math right now. He technically, after buying that house, has $700,000, because I'm doing whole numbers because it's easier. He has $700,000 left. Now let me Google. He rents a limo, right? And he has his own kind of like limo butler assistant. So let me check how much it is to rent a limo, just for one day. Oh, the second Google search was limo driver and blank check. Let's see if I can find any prices. Let me go back and Google how much is a personal limo driver. Okay, so I just Googled like how much does a limo driver make per hour, because none of the sites have been giving me anything like an overall bulk of what it would make. Now, also, another little tidbit of information. Preston spends all his money in 6 days. 6 days. So he only has his limo driver for 6 days. So whatever they make per hour, let's say he hired a really expensive one because he's a kid. And he's not thinking about that. He just wants the finer things in life. Okay, highest in the movie industry. And in the movie, actually, the limo driver says that he works for a celebrity. So I'm just going to go off, they make $25.6 per hour. Okay. $25.76 per hour. So if he's with Preston 8 hours a day. Okay, I'm back. I did that math just really quickly. For 8 hours a day for 6 days, it's only $1,236.48. Doesn't seem like that much. I mean, for a broke ass bitch like me, it's a lot, but for someone who has $1 million, that's like chump change. So now, technically, Preston has $698,000, $698,763.52. All right, let's go back to the article. So he actually has quite a lot. I'm going to add this in because I guess it's kind of an important point in the movie, but he goes to the bank and he sees this beautiful woman, right, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, you going to open an account with us? And she's like, but you need $200. And so so he does end up opening an account with $200. So I'm going to minus that really quick right now, and I'll be back. Okay, it's not that much of a difference. Now he has $698,563.52. It's just, they say it in the article, and I think it's, an important point in the movie. He gives away $200. So now they go to dinner. Oh yeah, so I'm also going to get into the unrealistic parts of this movie. It's already unrealistic with the house. Like, that house was not $300,000. But also, him and this bank teller become really close and, like, friends. But they end up going on a fucking date in the movie. A legitimate date. To, like, a nice restaurant, of course. And he says at 47 minutes, they're literally on a date. At this point, Shay believes she's on a date with this child to discuss his boss's financial affairs. Keep in mind, she's a bank teller. Keep in mind, she's on a date with a child. Child. He's 12 years old. And this fucking grown-ass woman is on a date with him. Like, the 90s was a crazy time. So, let's go down. Not nearly all of his money on go-karts. So let me see how much a go-kart is. Like a nice, expensive go-kart, like a really nice one. So let's Google that. Because that is a big part of the movie too, his go-kart. Right here, according to MGC developers, the cost to build a go-kart track is about 1,000 linear feet, and to buy about 18 cars runs over $300,000 as of this article's publication. So he does actually have a racetrack in the movie, and I'm gonna guess he has only one go-kart, I think. Maybe I'm just gonna assume he has 2 or 3, like if he wants to have friends over, but the whole point is he doesn't have any friends in the movie. So I'm just gonna use that number because it seems the most realistic, even though he probably only has 2 or 3 go-karts. Go-karts I don't see on here, they'd probably be at most $300, which isn't gonna make that much a difference in the price. So I'm just gonna use that number, the $302,995. Okay, so that actually took out a lot of money. He now only has $395,568.52. Like, that's a big chunk of change. Like, he's gonna start feeling it now. So let's go back to the article. See if I can find that scene where there's like a breakdown. Let's see. Got it. I love the internet. Okay, so right here you can see all of his expenses. Which I don't even think half of it makes sense. This is so unrealistic. So I only have over $395,000 left. And this just makes no sense. The on here they say the racetrack. Okay, the racetrack they say is $262,000. So it wasn't that far off. Video system was only $35,000. So I'm gonna go ahead and just take everything out of what I already have. I mean, it says miscellaneous over $6,000. I'm not gonna. I might count that. I'm not sure, but it doesn't have anything about what we already did. Is the limo service, the random $200 he gave the bank teller. So I'll be back. I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna add and what I'm not gonna add, just what makes sense, and see because he does have $332.17 left, and in 6 days he spent $999,000, $667.83 in 6 days. Bitch. So I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. And I just did some fucking math, and this does not add up. So the first one I did was basically off of what I told you before. The $395,000, $568.52. So I subtracted everything off of that balance, and I included the miscellaneous and the party, and I still had over $200,000 left. And this kid's only supposed to have over $300 left. So then, by Disney's logic, I did the whole breakdown just off $1 million. And if it was just off this breakdown, which is the only thing they show in the movie, not even all his expenses, like if he was just like getting ice cream and like it all adding up, I get that. But still, I would have, and this is just off the $1 million off of this breakdown without even adding the other stuff that I did, I would still have, if I were him, I would still have over $400,000 left. $405,101.92 to be exact, is what I would have left over. So I don't know where they're getting this fucking $332.17. What the fuck's going on, Disney? I'm done. I can't. So in conclusion, just what's based off of even the little amount of research I did. I didn't even watch the movie. I don't even think I have to at this point. Like, this movie is just so unrealistic that this is just not gonna add up. So if you're still fucking watching and if you're interested, blank check is not realistic. He would actually have more money than they say in the movie left over. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, you can go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Obviously, I don't make YouTube videos consistently. I honestly just had I was about to say honestly again. Honestly, if you want to make a game out of this stupid ass video, take a shot every time I say honestly, because I feel like I say that word a lot and it's fucking annoying. Anyway, yeah, if you enjoyed this video, you can go ahead and do all those things if you want to. I might be back with another shitty ass video that I don't. Is this even educational? For the what's it called? When YouTube says like, what kind of video is this? I should put educational down, because this is educational, bitch. People want to know, is this realistic? Spoiler alert, if you've gotten this far, it's not. Blank Check is not realistic. I still recommend watching the movie. It's a pretty entertaining movie. It's pretty funny. Just like I said, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to end it right now. Let's go over what happens at the end. So remember how I said that bank teller goes on a date with him? Well, it just gets creepier from there. Honestly, it just gets creepier from there. They flirt the whole time. And I don't mean just like charming flirting, I guess. They legitimately flirt with each other, and it's fucking gross. She's flirting with a 12-year-old, and she's an FBI agent. So, I mean, it's not really a spoiler. I guess it is if you want to watch it. But at the end of the movie, this bitch literally kisses Preston on the lips. This, I'm going to say she's over 30. Woman kisses this 12-year-old on the lips, and he asks her, she's like, oh, call me in 10 years, which if he's 12, that means he'd be 22, the age of consent, whatever. But then they do this like negotiating game where he's like 8, 7, 6, whatever. So I think they ultimately end up at 6 or 7 years to call her, and that means he would be 18. Younger than when she originally said, which I guess doesn't matter to this pedophilic bitch. Like, it's just so weird. Like, when she, I get a peck on the cheek or maybe a hug, but this bitch literally kissed him on the lips. That is disgusting. And she's an FBI agent. Mikey and I were just sitting there dumbfounded, like, it's the 90s. They didn't know what they were doing. So I just thought I'd go over that. That was freaking crazy. This is a crazy movie, but again, I recommend you watch it just because it's a Disney movie and it's entertaining, and it's just, it's nostalgic. So yeah, now I'm gonna end the video. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe if you want to. I hope you enjoyed. I don't know if you did. Subscribe for more stupid content. Alright, see you guys later.